Guys and girls, it's Know It time!
Alright, so today, today is May the 8th. I'm going to teach you your last unit for this chapter, and it is called the Binomial theorem. Now, they spelled the word binomial wrong, actually. The correct way is B-I-N-G-O. Binomial. That's actually the correct way. No, it's binomial right there. Haha, it's a joke. It's a binomial. Theorem. T-H-M. In university, T-H-M is short for theorem. So guys and gals, it's Know It time. Your favorite time of the day. Now, I'm not going to draw my picture today because it takes a bit of time, but our time is going to be very intense. To work with binomial theorem, you got to be able to know to work with the basics of what this is. In grade 8 and grade 9, you were taught how to expand this stuff. Actually, probably in grade 9. X plus 1 squared. Hi. So guys and gals, expand x plus 1 squared for me. Very, very simple. Back in grade 9, your teacher taught you how to expand this out. Oh, please don't say x squared plus 1. That's bad. It's not x squared. It's x squared. So you're right. But you're missing a few more things. Plus 2x. Good. Plus 1. Very nice. That was it. See, this is called my first term. If I were to expand it out, that's my first term. This here is my second term and third term, so on, so on.
Wait, I have a question.
Hi.
If it was like arranged in a different order,
Hi.
would it still be with x squared?
You would have to write the highest power first. So always write the highest power first. What if I give you this? I want you to work with this right now. X plus 1 cube. Expand it out for me. I'm going to pause it. So if I were to expand this out, I know that I would go x plus 1 times x plus 1 times x plus 1. I would do a lot of arrow pushing and all that stuff. And I would use this. And basically, I get x squared plus 2x plus 1. Now, you would expand this out, and it's going to be a lot of work, but I want you to expand it out. So you would get x cubed plus 2x squared plus x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay. And all we're going to do is we're going to simplify. X cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1. And that's what it is. But what if before we start, again, this is term 1, 2, 3, and look how many terms there are. There are 4 terms. I'm going to introduce a few more vocabularies for you. The number 1 is something called, starts with a C. It's a math term for a lone number floating around. Back in grade, constant. That's correct. Wow, you got a grade 8 math teacher, Grumpy. Credit to your grade 8 math teacher. Whoever that person is.
Yeah,
Constant. Okay. So guys, constant means a lone, basically just a lone number floating. You need to know that term. The number 3 in front of x squared. Coefficient is correct. You need to know these terms. Without them, you're going to fail the exam because they will ask you what these terms are. Coefficient. That was easy. I just expand and I get this. But in reality, I'm not going to ask you x plus 1 to the power 3. Too easy. What if I give you 2x plus 1 to the power of 5? We're not going to sit here and expand it out. I don't have time. You don't have time. We have a life. Okay? If you were to expand this question out, it'd probably take you 15 minutes to do. But I'm going to ask you this. Question number 1. Guess how many terms are there? That's for you to figure out. How many terms are there? Look at my pattern that I did. I started with 2, and guess how many terms? 3. I have... So basically, there are 6 terms if we look at the pattern. 6 terms. How do I know there's 6 terms? Well, I look at this pattern. The key is your exponent. I add 1 to the exponent. So terms, number of terms, equals to exponent plus 1. That's it. Some of you are asking, is there a shortcut to doing this? Because instead of writing expanding 5 brackets, there is. This is called, there's a formula to find the terms. To predict the term, use this formula. Use this formula. I will give you this formula on your exam. The formula is tk plus 1 equals to nck a to the power of n minus k b to the power of k. It seems confusing, but I'll explain to you what it is. It says to predict the term, use a formula. I'll explain to you what each one represents. N is your exponent. Okay, that's your exponent. Very, very simple. A, this is where some of you are going to get lost. This is first part of the bracket. So not 2, 2x. Okay. It's the first part of the bracket. B is second part. I'm not telling you what A, B, C stands for. I'll give you the formula. But that's for you to figure out what A, B is. That's for you to figure out. Okay. If you're going to ask me on an exam what does A, B, C stands for, you're on your own. Now, K is a tricky one. I'm going to put a little highlight for K. Okay. K, I'm going to make a little star because a lot of people make mistakes right here. This is where if you make a mistake is the K value. Okay. This relates to your term. It's not your term, it relates to the term. I'll explain to you what I mean by that in a second. So guys and gals, this is my formula. So instead of expanding all that stuff out, I can use a formula and I can predict exactly what term it is. I'm going to give this question. Right? Whoa.
What do you mean term?
I'll explain to you, don't worry.
Like the 6th term would be like 4?
Nope, I'll explain to you. Give me a second. Write down x plus 1 cube. We expanded x plus 1 cube already. If I expand it out, it's right here. Your first term is x cubed. Your second term, your third term, your fourth term. I'm going to ask you, instead of expanding, I'm going to say find the third term using the formula. Because we don't have time to expand it out. I only want, what is the third term going to be? We know my answer from up here. Third term is 3x, but let's use the formula. So we're going to write down tk plus 1. See? That's NCR. That's the NCR formula. I want you to fill in n. Just looking at this right now. What is n? 3. Just fill this in. So again, very simple. I go 3. C. Leave k the way it is. Because I'm going to explain k together as a class because you're going to make mistakes. Fill in my a value. And fill my b value right now. Okay, again, keep it simple. Randeep, what's a going to be? X. Put in x. Okay, very simple. Nothing too bad. X is the first part. Fill in my B value. Jasmine, what's B gonna be? 1. Okay. Now I go N. I'm gonna show you what to do later. This is just easy for now. N, and we're gonna do this right now. This is gonna be 3 minus K and K. Here's where kids are gonna get in trouble. They always ask me to know, what is K? No. CK is right there. I didn't fill this in yet. See, I'm looking for the third term. TK plus 1 somehow has to be the third term. What must K be? 2. A lot of people think K is 3. But remember, K relates to the term. K plus 1 has to equal to 3. K plus 1 has to equal to 3 because I'm matching up the term. So K is 2. Guys, plug in K now and fill this in. So you go 3C2 x to the power of 1 because 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 to the power of 2. Punch in your calculator. 3C2. Okay, that's the NCR function. How do you get K? Because remember, TK plus 1 has to be the same as T3. So K plus 1 has to be 3. So K is 2. That's why.
What do you want us to punch in the calculator?
3C2. Punch in 3C2. If you punch in 3C2, you should get 3. So you're going to rewrite this as 3 times x times 1. Hey, which is 3x. My answer, if I look at the third term, is indeed 3x. Yep. Nope. I'm going to give you another question, just practice. Let's go back to this question I wrote before.
Wait, where does it say that your answer is 3?
3x?
No, you
My answer up here, because remember when I expanded first time, what is the third term? The third term is 3x. Right there. So guys, let's give you this question. 2x minus 1 to the power of 5. I'm going to ask you, find the fourth term. Good luck. And do not sit here, waste 15 minutes expanding out the whole thing just to find the fourth term. I don't need to know the first term. I don't need to know the second term. I only need to know what the fourth term is. Get crack-lacking. I'm going to pause. It's correct. See, in this question, if I'm looking for the fourth term, K has to be 3. A lot of people make mistakes when they say K is 4. That's where you're going to go wrong. So I'm going to use a formula. 5C3. Okay? Always use brackets. 2x to the power of 2. Make sure you got to have this correct. This is negative 1. Be careful about that. It's not a 1. It's a negative 1. Because that's the second part. To the power of 3. Punch in your calculator. 5C3. 10. So we go 10. Again, notice I'm using brackets. What is 2x to the power of 2? 4x. Oh, be careful. Squared. Okay. Negative 1 to power negative 3 to power 3. It really is just negative 1. Multiply this all out for me right now. And you have negative 40x squared. So the fourth term, without expanding, is negative 40x squared. If you were to expand this out, you would get the exact same thing. Only thing is it takes you about 15 minutes to do. Try this. (3a minus 2b to the power of 4). The exam question says find the middle term. Find your middle term. Good luck. Let's see.
But you said that you have to memorize that formula because we're going to use it afterwards. We'll use it
Later. Not yet. So guys, right off the bat, the middle term. We know there are 5 terms because of the 4. So the middle term is actually T3. So what this question is asking you is find T3. That's it. So again, I'm going to set up the question. So this,
How do we know there's 5 terms?
oh, because I look at the exponent. If your exponent is 4, you add one more to figure out the term. So basically, T3, again, right off the formula, 4C2. 3A squared. Be careful about this one. Abraham, what is your next thing that goes in brackets?
This one?
Yep. What goes here? This is where some students will make errors. Negative 2b. Not just 2b, but you got to be careful. This has to be negative 2b. Negative 2b squared. Okay. And right off the bat, go ahead and expand this out, and you get your answer. 4c2, that's 12, I believe? Oh, 6. 6 times 9a squared. Be careful, this is 4b now squared. Why is it what? So we go 6 times 9 times 4, punch in your calculator. Okay, so punch in your calculator. 4 times 216. So here 216, we write a squared, b squared. Voila. Hi.
Why do you have to multiply if they don't have the same letters?
Sorry?
Why do you have to multiply
If they don't have the same letters, we just put it side by side. We can't add exponents or anything, so this is just your answer. Okay?
What was the answer?
If there were 2 a's, then you would add exponents together. There'll be a4. Yep. Guys, a few more questions, then we'll give you a super no. Let's see how you do with this one. What was going on? If your n value is 4, you have 5 terms. Yep. Your k value is 2. Because I'm looking for T3, so k is actually 2. What if I give you this one? I want to see who can solve this one. 3x minus 2 to the power of 4. Find the constant. Good luck. Find the constant. So the question now is, where does constant... No, I'm just starting. See, a lot of you are saying, hey, so the constant lies in term 5. Because it's the last term. T5. And then you just sub it in. I want you to write down things star. This is crucial right here. The last term is not... I repeat, you need to write this down. I'll show you why. Is not always the constant. The last term is not always a constant. I'm going to show you the proper method how to do this. So you're going to apply this to harder cases. See, a lot of you think the last term is always a constant. It is true in this case. Term 5 is the constant, but I'm going to show you how to set it up. So right off the bat, we're going to imagine we don't know what the term the constant is in yet. So we're going to go NCK. We're going to sub it in. I know my A value is 3x. I should know what n is also. N is 4. 4 minus k times negative 2 to the power of k. I'm going to imagine, I don't know what the constant term is. This is a proper method you should be doing because the questions will get a lot more challenging and they require this method. See, in order for you to do this, you need to know what a constant is. A constant has no variables. In other words, you can't have any x's in there. That's what a constant is.
So you have to, is that like you have to figure out?
Yeah, now you got to use this. So if you look at this, would you agree this is the only naughty part right here? Okay.
You just have to maybe
I have to somehow get rid of the x part because I can't have an x. So I use logic now. What must k be to get rid of x? K has to be 4 using logic. Because if you don't use logic in the upcoming part, you're going to get destroyed if you don't. Because I want to get rid of the variable. The only way to get rid of variable is to let k be 4. So now I can go back and sub it in. 4C4. 3x to the power of 0, negative 2 to the power of 4. If you did this right, you should have no x's in there. Because a lot of people think the constant is always the last term. It's never the case. It's only simple questions like this. Guys, punch in your calculator and you should get 16. Very nice. Here's your supernova question. You're gonna need, give your hint is you're gonna apply what I just taught you to answer this.
And then, so if you have a question like that, you don't have to do the minus after.
Whoa, minus what?
To find k, you know, we did something else before.
So if my k, no, because I know k is equal to 4, right? If k is equal to 4, really you're looking for the fifth term. I don't have to minus that. I have k already.
You don't have to do what we did before.
Yep. See, because you're assuming, what you did before, you're assuming k is the constant of the last term. It's not always the case. It's only easy questions that is the case.
This is
Whoa, which part?
a number of,
This whole, which part are you confused about?
The last number has no variables.
This one, k value? See, to get a variable, to have a constant, you can't have any variables, agree? Now, this yellow part is the only bad part, because there's an x in there. Somehow, you got to choose a k value to get rid of x.
So choose the same number.
So, somehow, would you agree this exponent has to be 0 to get rid of x? So, k has to be 4, because 4 minus 4 is 0.
And then all other k's are
I'm going to say this is every question changes, but you use the same similar logic. The question is, you got to show me the work. Good luck with this one. There is a constant. Your constant 16 for this one. What about other questions? You figure out once you give you the question. Here's your question. X minus 1
What? Oh my god, it's no fast.
to the power of 12. Find the constant. Team challenge. Yeah, right. Please. That's as if I would make it that easy for you. It's 1 over
Oh my god.
x cubed. Show me the work involved. No work, no marks. Guys, I'm going to give you a hint because this is a bit challenging. The key to solving this is 1 over x cubed. 1 over x cubed can be written as using exponents. Right? Using exponents. That's your hint.
What do you mean break it to multiply that?
Here we go. Now, I'm going to set this question up into 12ck. I don't know what k is. I'm going to set it up.
220.
X to the power of 12 minus k. But the key, like I said, is this part right here. That's the key. As most of you saw right through this. How would I write this into exponents? Back in the days. X to the power of negative 3. Nope. Oh, sorry, there's a negative here. Now, this is going to be k. Would you agree? Let's circle the naughty part. The part that screws up the constant. This whole entire part is bad. This whole thing. Because this has x's in it involved. A constant means you can't have any x's. But because of this part, it screws up my definition of constant. So I'm going to work with this part. Now, if I work with this part, I mentioned to you something. And some of you asked me about this. What if the bases were the same? What do you do to exponent? You add the exponent. But before I do this, let's write this down as, would you agree I can rewrite this as x to the power of 12 minus k times negative x to the power of minus 3k? Because negative 3 and k, you can just work with this.
We gotta log it?
No login. Okay. So I'm going to multiply. If you multiply similar basis, what do you do to exponents? You add. So what we're going to do,
Just chill for 1 second.
we're going to add these together. Because by definition, when you multiply similar bases, we add the exponent. So I'm going to rewrite this as negative x to 12 minus k plus, see, I'm adding negative, because there should be a negative there. But it won't matter. The negative sign won't do anything to it. Okay. So now, I'm going to simplify the whole top part right here. So this is negative x. For now, I'm going to erase the negative. Negative won't do it, change anything.
Why?
You'll see why in a second. It just makes your life big. So it'll be 12
What is 4K?
minus 4k. So what must k be?
Where did the
K must be 3.
Oh,
No, we're not done yet. See, this whole thing has to be 0 because I want to get rid of x.
I don't understand where you got the 4 from.
Because this is negative k plus negative 3k. So this 12 minus 4k has to equal to 0. K has to be 3. But that's not your answer. Because I asked you, find the constant. So to find the constant now, I go back and I sub in 12c3 x to the power of 9. And this is negative x to the power of negative 3 times 3. That's what I have. So guys, gals, if I work with this, if I did everything correct, this whole entire thing will cancel out and become a 0 or become a 1. Here's how. You get, would you agree, you get x9 right here. And this is negative x to the power of negative 9. What, x to the power of 9 times negative x to the power of negative 9. Oh, whoa. It's 1. Or more importantly, negative 1. Because there's a negative sign right there. So this whole entire thing becomes negative 1. So you have 12c3. Punch in your calculator. 12c3 right now.
Yo, let's know we got it, so.
we got it.
And your answer is?
Negative 220.
Negative 220. How many of you got it right? 0. Oh, please. Hi. How to get it where? 1? Negative 1? Because this part cancels out, leaving you with negative 1. How? Here's how. If I look at x9, what do you do when you add similar, multiply similar bases? 9 plus negative 9? 0. X to the power of 0 is 1. So more importantly, if you want to go be more specific, it's negative x to the power of 0, which is just basically negative 1. Okay? So guys, gals, that is why it's worth a lot of marks. Because you have to do a lot of things. So the constant is not last term. Your homework, Page! We're going to spend a bit more time on this tomorrow. Page 108. Numero 5. 6. 7 may be a bit tricky, but I want you to try it. And 9. 5, 6, 7, 9. We're going to spend a bit more time tomorrow. Today, after